from Columbus, back in Boston. Boston Pro coming up, but it's Monday. Let's talk about the Arnold. Specifically, who should have won in your eyes? I want to get your opinions. Now, it was a very, very close contest. A lot of people had Bonac beating Curry, but when the results were announced, Bonac in second, I didn't hear that many boos. If people had been that upset about it, I think we would have heard a lot more booing in the audience, because I've been to a lot of shows where people go nuts with the booing. So online is a different story. A lot of people who made posts seem to be in favor of Curry winning. However, I wonder if a lot of people who had Curry winning, a lot of people online had Bonac winning. I just wonder if a lot of the people who felt the other way, that Curry was the rightful winner, were they just afraid to express their opinion because they felt people would be, argue with them or call them idiots or whatever? I don't know. I did finally check out the score sheet a little while ago. I wanted to see how close it was. And let's see the judging, which was done Friday night. Obviously, so the lowest score possible wins. It's like golf, right? So Curry had a score of 5, which means I believe there are 7 judges, and they throw out the high and low scores, so you can't get a 7. The best you can get is a 5. So he got a 5. Bonac got a 10. That means it was perfect score for Curry, Brandon Curry, after Friday night, the judging. Saturday was a different story. They call it the routine round, although they're not judging the routine. I believe what they're really judging is the confirmation round, which is when they go all through the judging all over again, almost like the first night never even freaking happened. But that was much closer. This time, okay, I guess you can get a 7, because Brandon Curry got a score of 7. Yeah, Ramondino, I know. Ramondino's awesome. I know, guys. Ramondino, and I know if anyone says Big Rami's awesome too, okay? So we got that covered. All right. So Curry got a score of 7 on Saturday night. Bonac got a score of 8. So they were just 1 point apart. They were very, very close. So the judges felt a lot more strongly on Saturday night in favor of Bonac than they did on Friday night, the previous night. Total score was Curry 12, Bonac 18. So Curry beat him by 6 points, having a 6-point lower score, the lowest score, 12. But it was much closer. But man, so I'm curious to see if any of you guys, I know a lot of you guys are going to say Bonac was robbed. That's how you feel. I wonder if anyone here, I could argue it both ways, because I've been to a million shows and I've seen, it's not up on the live yet. Now I can't see your, I'm trying to get to your stuff, guys. Maybe I need to switch to the Muscular Development account. Ooh. Bonac winning would have messed up Olympia promo. It's still a business. Curry winning by 6 points is an absolute joke. I mean, if you go pose by pose, Curry does win a few of the poses for sure. We need some beef Curry on his legs. Curry's legs aren't that bad. They're actually a little better. Bonac's got better legs. If you look at the shots, shape-wise and structure-wise, Curry's far superior. Bonac smoked Curry totally from behind. Samsung robbed. Samsung is an electronics company. Brendan's legs, yeah, I guess I would have to be, I can't see the video unless I'm into the Muscular Development account. So how can Curry get 6 in prejudging? I was hoping to be able to look at the live chat, guys, but I guess I can't. I guess I can't do that. So I'm going to have to try to read your stuff immediately. Sign in again. No. Those two in a boxing match to decide the winner. Chicharello kept mentioning slap fighting, because that's what was going on this weekend. Slap fighting the first time at the Arnold, and man, people going crazy for that thing. People getting knocked the F out by slaps. I've never seen slap fighting before. I caught a little bit of it. It was pretty intense. So yeah, if you go pose by pose, Curry wins some, Bonac wins some. Brendan has the prettiest physique up there. It was just, beautiful shape, beautiful structure, #robbed. Bonac, as you can see from that thumbnail, he's got a more compact structure. He doesn't have, because he's got a shorter torso, kind of like Kai Green, who actually reminds me a lot of Kai Green. Nick Trigilli thinks that Bonac wasn't robbed. I mean, it's a sport of opinion. It's a sport of opinion. You're not right or wrong either way. It's your opinion. It's what you prefer. Simpson or Justin should have swapped with Kukla. I don't know. Kukla looked pretty damn good to me. Justin, yeah. I mean, it was a very, very tight third, fourth, fifth. Let me tell you, they were having a hell of a time trying to figure out third, fourth, and fifth. It was very, very close between those three guys. You could have argued it any which way, and I don't think anybody would have been too upset. Don't you think Bonac beat Curry from the back? Yeah, sure. But you know what? When they say shows are won from the back, that's a very, very misleading statement. It makes it sound like it doesn't matter what you look like from the front, only how you appear from the back is what should be considered, and that should matter. But it's a total package. It's left side, right side, front, back, this pose, that pose. They're looking at every little detail: structure, shape, condition, mass, proportion, presentation. It's all factoring in every little thing. That's why we say it's the best total package. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know why I can't see this, guys. Then how did Curry get a perfect 5 in prejudging? Brandon all day. See, Chris Eddy. I mean, he has to have some support out there. The guys, this was not the best Brandon Curry. Even in the wrap-up, was this better look than Olympia for Brandon? No. He looked way better at the Olympia. Way better. In fact, if you watch the interview I did, please do, on this channel. I did an interview right after his win, Brandon backstage with his coach and his trainer. It was not even close. Bonac won for me. Ron, you think they would allow Bonac to place higher than Brandon at the Olympia? It's not a matter of will they let somebody do this or that. It's not as political as you guys think it is. It really isn't. Just, does that factor in sometimes? I'm sure it does. But most of the time, I think the judges do their very best to be objective about it. They do. It's very tough. That's a tough job. Because a lot of times, if two guys look really, really good, which happens a lot, and it could go either way, they know either way, it's damned if you do, damned if they don't. Bonac's waist. Yeah, Bonac's waist. Look at that front double bicep. I'm not saying that's the only reason Brand shape carrying this year's Arnold. Yeah. Bonac does not have much of a V-taper because he's got a short torso like Kai. So he doesn't have much of a V-taper. It's more of a straight up and down, a thicker, shorter torso. William robbed. Easy win for Bonac. Curry has no legs. Oh, come on. Who's in better condition, Milos? Oh, out of those two at that show, Bonac, for sure. Thank you, Milos, for popping in here. Thank you on the V-taper. Yeah. Side shots, I give that side chest. You know, we talked about it in the wrap-up, but I give the side chest to Bonac. I give the back shots to Bonac. Do you think judges can sometimes take vascularity? No, judges don't give a shit about vascularity, guys. Trust me, they don't. The fans are the only ones that care about veins. It has nothing to do with the physique, nothing. Somebody can have, I remember Flex Wheeler had almost no vascularity. Go look at the pictures. You could barely see any veins on Flex Wheeler, even when he was in shredded condition. Some people have a lot of veins that are bigger and close to the surface of the skin, like Paul Dillette. Others have much less. Pose by pose, according to you, which were the poses Bonac won over Curry? The only, let's see, so I would give Bonac side chest. I would give him back the rear lat spread, rear double bicep. I guess I'd give him abdominal and thigh. I guess. I don't know. That's tough. I would give Brandon the front double bicep, the front lat spread. I think I'd give him the side try. But, you know, it's not a matter of there's 7 poses and whoever wins more out of those 7. It's not like the World Series best out of 7 in baseball. It's not like that, guys. Curry does have more beautiful front torso, sure. The width, lat spread, and abs are superior. Yeah, he's got a beautiful physique, beautiful shape and structure. Appreciate your coverage. Thank you. Always a solid channel to you, brother. Just say no to Eco. Oh, you don't like Eco, I guess, huh? Felt like judges were blind. Chris, I feel cheated when Bonac beat Dex. Kind of off base should happen. Do you think William Bonac looked better than he did in his previous Arnold wins? No. No, I don't think this is 100% Bonac, but this was like a 95% Bonac, based on the best I've ever seen him, 90 to 95 somewhere, and this was not the best Curry at all I've ever seen. Way better at the Olympia a few months ago. And he only, if you watch that interview, and please do if you haven't, backstage with Abdullah Al-Tabi and Ahmad Askar with Brandon in the middle. 10 weeks, he went out to Kuwait a little bit later than usual. He was behind and didn't really put the size on that he should have, just fell short a little bit in the size, didn't get the conditioning to where it really should have, so a little short there. Because, you know, once we've seen them really at their best, that's what we always expect to see. So when we see less than that, we're very, very critical. Bonac 100% won this competition. Says, I think they give it to Brandon because he's more aesthetic. Yeah, Eco Boost, talking about Ford. The Boston will be amazing, Gregory Elise. Absolutely, because it's in Boston. Bonac looking insane, but Curry soft. Yeah, I was hoping, I'm still hoping that Bonac decides to do Boston Pro. I talked to him real briefly at breakfast yesterday, and he was on the fence. He wasn't really sure yet. I think he wasn't even going to make up his mind till like Wednesday or Thursday. It's going to be a last minute decision for him. I think Curry's in real danger this year at the Olympia because Curry's really vulnerable from the back, especially his lower half. Yeah, but this wasn't that Brandon. The Brandon that took second a few months ago at the Olympia was not this Brandon. Does Curry have better connections than the Arnold management? That would have nothing to do with the scores, trust me. Is Curry in the top 10 all time now? Oh, God, you guys, we can all have our top 10 bodybuilders, just like top 10 movies or top 10 bands or top 10 songs or top 10 most beautiful women of all time. It's all subjective. It's all opinion. You can, like I said, you're not right and you're not wrong. It's just your opinion. The only reason Brandon plays first place is because he's a Mr. Olympia winner. They always favor current and previous Mr. Rose. I hear that. I hear you on that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's true. What are your thoughts on the hype train for Brett? Think he's got what it takes to be at top 5 Olympia? Yeah, I feel, I don't want to say I feel bad for Brett Wilkins because I'm sure he doesn't want any pity. 6th place in his first Arnold Classic. It's only his second open show ever. I think everyone's expecting, what Nick Walker did to just blow, like Nick Walker did one open show, the Chicago Pro, a few weeks after turning pro. Then bam, bam, New York Pro win, Arnold Classic win, 5th place at Olympia. So we expected that from Brett too, because he had a lot of hype as a new guy with a ton of mass, but he's still got work to do. He's a work in progress. He's been putting on muscle very rapidly. He's been improving. This is not the final version of Brett Wilkin. Let her see you behind your back. What? I missed that. Kula. If Brandon underrated, he defeated Phil and doesn't get the credit he deserves. Brandon's an amazing bodybuilder, please. The guy was Mr. Olympia. You do not win the Mr. Olympia. You're not the best in the world. And arguably, he could have won this last Olympia. I would not have been upset. Top 5 at the Olympia with Bonac back now and Flex Lewis. I'm not going to even talk about the Olympia now, guys. Way too far away. What are your thoughts on how this would have played out if Nick competed too? Phil Heath won. I know all you Nick Walker fans want to hear me say Nick would have destroyed everybody. He would have made them all look like children. He would have been competitive. I don't know if he would have won. I don't know. Maybe, probably. We didn't see him in that lineup. It was a much different lineup that we saw him in a few months ago. Can Nick Walker take on Curry? The way Brandon looked here, sure. The way Brandon looked at the last Olympia, no. That's why Brandon was second at the last Olympia and Nick was 5th. I mean, Nick's getting better and better. I'm not saying I'm not writing him off by any means, but he's still on the rise. He's not quite at Brandon Curry's level yet when Brandon is 100%. William has to do Boston. No, Big Ramy. Why are we talking about Big Ramy, guys? Come on. Why is it always got to be? And no one's talking about Hadi Chupin. Where's all the Hadi fans? Gosh, they seem to have forgotten about us. Do you think the 5 difference points between Brandon Curry and prejudging is fair? 90% of Brandon package can also be good enough to beat any one of these shows. Yeah, do I think it was fair? I mean, I had Bonac winning. The 5-point difference, that just means most or all the judges Friday night had him winning. They were obviously favoring the structure, the shape, things like that, more so than the conditioning and the size, because Bonac really did outsize him at this, and he outconditioned him. I just wish judges were more transparent so we don't have these discussions, says Nick. Yeah, but then what would we talk about? We'd have nothing to talk about. People want to criticize Arnold's legs too. Oh, well, Arnold's legs were not very good compared to his torso. Brandon, the uncrowned Mr. Olympia 2021. I like I said, I could have had Brandon Curry beating Ramy at the last Olympia. Has Hadi been in the U.S. said, had he participated? Willie, that was in 1970, yeah. William Bonac, 3rd month in the world. Ramy was never beaten by Curry in the past 2 years. Ramy got beat by Bonac 20. Who's in the Boston Pro? No, they don't have the list out. So the list will be on a website called ifbbpro.com. That's also where you can see the scorecard for this Arnold Classic, as well as the schedule for all the shows coming up. Boston Pro predictions. I'm going to be doing a show later this week, predictions with Jose Raymond, the Boston Mass, probably with Giles Thomas too. I'm thinking if we can all coordinate. So yeah, right now we're staying on topic. Bonac versus Curry. So at this show, I had Brandon second. I did. Not that he wasn't great. Still looks amazing. It was too early. What are your thoughts on Olympia? Way too early. Brandon's legs are never going to get better. Is Nick getting better than 5th? I don't know. Do you think Phil Heath will come back eventually do shows? I don't know. Popped in quickly, say Bonac should have won. Dave Bowers Productions. That's for the Indie Pro. Back to training legs. Ron, you're the best journalist in the industry, hands down. Harry Balls, your check is in the mail. Yeah, they don't. It's Venmo now. Nobody even uses mails checks anymore. Impressed with Kukla? 100%. Yeah, Kukla looked really good. I mean, he was conditioned. He obviously, I've seen him a little bigger and fuller, but I think he went for conditioning. And man, he was shredded. And he's still like 275 up there. Maybe, yeah. He was a big, big, big dude. I had Bonac 2, Harmony 1. Yeah. I mean, like I said, if things like size and condition matter more to you than structure and shape, then you obviously would have him. Olympia predictions, way too early. Curry had the best overall package. William Bonac midsection was swollen. It's not that his midsection is swollen. He has a short torso, just like Kai Green. So his structure, his torso could be a little longer, and then his midsection wouldn't have that appearance to it. No more bubble guts in the show. Yeah. What do you think of Samson future? Future Mr. Olympia, who knows? I mean, I say this all the time because there've been people over the years that I've been doing this a very, very long time. If you had told me when I started working in this sport 31 years ago, if you had told me Flex Wheeler was never going to win an Olympia, Sean Ray was never going to win an Olympia, Kevin Leveroni would never win an Olympia, I'd be like, shut up. Of course they will. These guys are amazing. They've got to win an Olympia before they retire. None of those guys did. So Samson has the tools. If he keeps filling out, condition gets better, a little more back thickness. Samson's on the way. He needs to get a little bit bigger, especially in the back, and nail his condition a little bit better, and he'll be pushing for these titles. Are you planning to compete, Ron, or did you scrap that plan? Yeah, I scrapped it. If Rami's 100%, who beats him? Who beats 100% Rami? I've never seen 100% Rami, ever. I've never seen the detail, the separation that I want to see, and that's what to me would make him 100%. I missed the Jay Ronnie era. Yeah, those are some battles, Jay and Ronnie. Those are great. Regan Grimes, I mean, he works really. Yeah, Regan's getting better and better too. He's a work in progress. He was sick. He was very sick during the first part of this prep, I think up until like 4 or 5 weeks out, or even sooner. If you watch the wrap-up that we did after Friday night, it was Milos and I, and then Samson and Regan walked over, and we talked to Regan for a bit, and he talked about how he was sick during the prep. I bet we'll take the Mr. O win before Hunter. You never know who's going to win the Olympia. I swear, like a couple of years before Ronnie won the Olympia, nobody would have said this guy's going to be Olympia. Nobody, ever. Roden, nobody ever thought Sean Roden was going to be Mr. Olympia. No way. I mean, people surprise you. People improve. They get better. You never know. Samson's a better future Mr. Oakland than Regan Grimes. Is Rami limited by his ability to get conditioned? I don't know. I mean, Rami has looked very similar. Rami's looked pretty much the same since he first came on the pro scene, 2013 New York Pro. Go look at the pictures. He has not changed much. Do a great job reporting. Thank you, Harmony. AJ, that's why I said last time we tell you it would be a good judges like, but good show. What the judges like, yeah. The judges, it's a subjective sport. For you sports fans, you watch other sports. Yeah, referees make some questionable calls in other sports. Absolutely, they do. But still, who gets more balls through that net? Who gets the football through the end zone more times than the other team? It's a lot easier to figure out the winner. And Hardari, Rami's still his best physique. Yeah, what I wish I could see from Rami is just deep separation and cut and details in the muscles. If Rami worked with Matt Jansen, he would be dramatically better. I don't know. Brandon looked okay. I remember the 2002. Arnold looked so good. The audience laughs. He was so dominant. Bonac all day. Bonac got robbed. Couldn't make it there. Appreciate your hard work. Thank you, Austin. Bo True. Hit the like button, guys. Yeah, hit the like. Do some comments. Well, you're live commenting now. But Samson would look crazy with an improved back and shoulders like a Flex Wheeler. Yeah, Samson has those round muscle bellies, really full round muscle bellies. So, even just standing there, he looks so impressive. Where do I feel Nick Walker package last year would have placed in this lineup? He might have won. He looked freaking great. Nick Walker does not have a pretty shape. He does not have a pretty structure. Doesn't have much of a V taper in his frontal bicep either, but so much dense, thick mass, so conditioned. Compare Curry 19. Yeah. Pageant. Someone just said, are bodybuilding competitions a pageant or a sport? I know technically it's a sport. William is too blocky. I always say bodybuilding is a beauty pageant with muscles because it's a lot more similar in the way that it's judged than to a beauty pageant, which is just a panel of judges look at people come out on a stage. They're going purely on the way they look. There's no athletic performance. Nobody's running around. Nobody's passing a ball or trying to move a ball through end zones or through baskets or hit a golf ball. There's none of that. You're just seeing the finished product of, years of training and months of dieting and all that stuff. So it's purely visual. It's what we're looking at on stage in front of us. Z, every show always has a controversial outcome. Most of them do. Yeah, no matter what, they're always fans that never agree with who won, however many pros. Yeah, like I said, it's what do you like? For those of you who really like, you prefer the freaks, just massive size, shredded condition, you won't care much about shape. If I say your guy has a blocky waist and this and that, you'll be like, you don't want to hear that. But other people who are into more aesthetics and shape and structure, they don't care if their guy isn't as big as someone. Like when Sean Roden won the Olympia, he was not the biggest man on stage at all. And, I'm sure if I looked at the list, I bet there were 6 to 8 guys at least on that stage who were much, much bigger than Sean Roden. But did they have that perfect shape, symmetry, that flow of the physique, that crazy condition that he had? No. So it's all what you like. Definitely William Bonac deserved the win. Mm-hmm. Like I said, you could certainly argue it. I mean, we were arguing it in our wrap-ups. Cardio best for fat loss. Bonk. Yeah, we're not answering training questions right now, guys. I'll do another one of, I'll do more of these live things and I'll take training questions. But yeah, right now we're just talking about William Bonac versus Curry. I think I prefer Peter should not have shifted to Classic. Oh, now we're talking about Peter Molnar from Hungary. He looked great, but I never saw him as a bodybuilder. How was Regan working so hard and not performing? He got sick. He was very sick during this prep. He pulled it all together. He could have pulled out like 5 other men pulled out of this show, but he didn't. He stuck through. Phil deserved to win 2018 regardless, says Nick. Phil looked really good. Phil looked really good. Regan picked up COVID, yeah. Can we say COVID? Sean was much better than Curry. Yeah, Brandon was off. Open bodybuilding is not only about shape. Might sound dumb. Did Bonac height get to second? What? Is Curry the best? Oh, someone was asking it's because he was shorter. Well, Bonac's about 5'5". Curry, I think he says he's 5'8". It's not like he's towering over him or anything. What does Brett need to do? Brett needs to just keep working, keep doing what he's doing. He's getting better. Brett Wilkin needs more leg mass. I'm sure he knows him and his coach Matt know exactly what they need to do. Who's the better bodybuilder that night? Brandon Curry had the better flow and muscle bellies. Yeah, Brandon's got a much better structure and shape. He does. Yeah, Bonac was great. Curry has better shape, but was nowhere near as peeled. What do you think about Urs, Miracle Bear? Do you think he steal the hotel? Yeah, well, he won't steal it. He'll earn it. He'll win it one day. I don't know. Like here we go. Ramon Dino, good enough to win the Olympia. Urs Kalachinsky, he's well on his way to being good enough to win the Olympia too. Will they ever win Olympia? I don't know. Maybe Bumstead wins for the next 5 years. Who knows? Bonac was robbed, in my opinion. More conditioned, shredded. Yeah. Like I said, he had better muscle size. He had better condition. Did not have better shape, structure, all that stuff. Will Bonac be able to get that good in Olympia this year? I mean, if Bonac gets a little better, and this is way better than he looked at the last Olympia, who knows? There should be certain standards to pick the winner. The biggest, leanest guy on stage should be the winner since that represents the hardest working athlete. Shape is genetics. Let me tell you, shape is genetics. You know what? Size and condition maybe not condition, but you could very well make the argument that size is a genetic thing too, because 2 of these guys could work equally hard, eat all the same food, take all the same gear and other drugs, and one will be bigger than the other. Why? Genetics. The bigger guy is not necessarily working harder than the guy who's not as big. Not at all. That's a huge misconception. Just because someone is bigger doesn't mean. I've known people, genetics rule this sport. They rule this sport. I've known guys who worked much, much harder than a lot of the pros. They never looked like a pro. They never won a contest, not even like a regional show. If you see a lot of these pros train with regular amateur bodybuilders. A lot of these guys, they're in there working out with the pro every day. They're doing the same exact workout, training just as hard. I'm sure they're using the same stuff. They're eating the same food. They don't look anything like that pro. Why? Genetics. Thank you, sir. I missed a bunch of those questions. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to have to go eat soon anyway. I lost some of my gains over the weekend. If Brandon brings the same package to the Olympia, he's probably going to end up 5th or 6th place. He won't. He'll look a lot better at the Olympia. I'd bet you guys good money he's going to look way better. He's going to go to Kuwait much sooner. Genetics and hard work wins big shows. Yeah. Well, they're all genetically gifted, but some of them are more genetically gifted than the rest of them. They're not all equally. They're all way more genetically gifted than us, me and you. But, you know, there's still levels, even to those guys. Some of them are much more genetically gifted. Yeah, go to a pro show with a big lineup sometime, like a Tampa Pro, something where there's like 20 guys in the open, 20 guys in the 212, and you'll see so many different genetics, so many different structures, so many different levels of mass, different types of shapes, and you'll realize, wow, there's a lot of differences out there. Bonac was trying to hide his midsection all Friday night. I would say that's why he lost. Yeah, like I said, he doesn't have a bloated mids. He doesn't have a bubble gut or anything like that. It's a structure problem. He's got a short torso, like a Kai Green. When you have all that muscle on a frame that's that compact, it's hard to have a really small, tight midsection. How much weight did you lose this weekend? 5 pounds, Gregory. 5 or 6 pounds I lost, yeah. I think it was all Saturday night, the freaking drinking all that muscle vodka. And then I didn't sleep. When I don't sleep, missing meals, missing sleep. I missed a lot of meals too this weekend. Bonac doesn't look good, and frankly, I don't get why people even, yeah, see, there you go. Someone doesn't like him. Justin was a big disappointment of the show. Big changes. Yeah, he looked better the first night. Think if judges released notes and were transparent, it would remove controversy from the sport? No, because people would still strongly disagree with their opinions. Even if we saw every judge had to, you saw the score from every judge, and they had to do a written report on why they made this call that they did or something, people would still argue with them. People, because like I said, because it's a subjective sport and we all have our different opinions, none of us are always, there's always going to be disagreement. That's how it's always been in bodybuilding. That's how it's always going to be, because again, it's like a beauty pageant. It's very subjective. You and I can look at physiques and say, I got this guy winning, and you could say, you're on crack, I got that guy winning. And, it's just what we prefer. Curry only best Bonac, and the Sean Clarita question. Sean hasn't decided yet. Refeed, my friend. Oh, I will, don't worry. Who on this planet would say Bonac looks more impressive in a positive way than Brandon? Why Big Ramy win the Olympia if shape is so important? Ramy doesn't have horrible shape. I never said that. No. Ramy doesn't have pretty shape, but he does have very wide shoulders, pretty small waists and hips for a guy that's 300 pounds on stage, massive legs. So he has that X-framing area. He doesn't have the pretty round muscle bellies like a Brandon does, that's all. But he doesn't have bad shape. For a guy that size, he has really good shape. I mean, Ronnie Coleman didn't have beautiful shape. He didn't. He was dominant because he had a really good structure, just like Ramy. He did have more roundness to his muscles, rounder muscle bellies. Ramy has a balanced shape overall. Yeah, Ramy overblew his legs. He looked like a god back in 2013. A lot of people liked Ramy's physique. I think the two looks people seem to like the most from Ramy are the first win, his first New York Pro one, because he won it twice, 2 years in a row. 2013, he looked really great, his first pro show, New York Pro. And then I think it was 2017 Olympia when he took second. Those to me, those are the best looks I've seen from Ramy. And I was very impressed with him there. I always want to see more. Bonac had better shape for sure, but Bonac is very compact and narrow, yeah. Brandon beats Bonac in every lat spread pose, front and back. Ron, are you natural? No, I never said I was. I never said I was natural. No. I was natural. I was a natural bodybuilder. I trained for 13 years before I touched a drug. I competed in many natural drug-tested shows, and then I went to the dark side because they had cookies. Sean Wood destroyed Curry in 2019. Yeah. Sean, it's tragic that Sean Roden died in general because he was only 46 years old, but the fact that we never saw him compete again after his Olympia win, that sucked because he was so good. I really want to see him on the Olympia stage at least a few more times, and none of us ever got that chance because he was suspended or wasn't allowed to compete because of his legal issues that were ongoing. Samson wins Boston Pro unless Steve. I think Steve's doing it. Running to compete the Masters Olympia. Ha ha ha. I'm not a pro. Yeah, you know what? I know a ton of people who turned pro in my area, men and women, and they only had to beat, in some cases, one person to turn pro. One. I know I'm off on a tangent, but you asked. A bunch of other people I know beat 2 or 3 people in a class, and they got their pro card. So, to give you an example, my last time I competed in 2013 Masters Nationals, I was a heavyweight over 40. There were 32 men in my class. 32 in my class. Now, I didn't do that well. I placed 14th, so I got beat by a lot of people. But 2 weeks before that, at the Team U, in the Masters over 40, which was just one class, there was guys at 140 pounds. The winner was 280. I was fifth out of 23, so I beat almost 20 guys, and I still was only fifth place. I didn't turn pro. So I've never been in a pro qualifier where I only had to beat a couple people, or maybe it's just luck. So I'm like, I'm done. Can you suggest something for me to take more? Timing is everything. Yeah, it's luck. It's a lot of luck. Unless you're that good. None of these people I'm talking about, they're not that good. They're not. Some of them are worse than me. And I'm not great. I'm not a great bodybuilder. I never was. But I'm better than some of the people I know who turned pro. What does that mean? What does a pro card mean now? It doesn't mean what it used to mean. Mario, don't take it. XP Ronnie all day. Why hasn't Brandon built bigger legs? I'm sure he's trying his best. They just don't respond the way his upper body does, and he doesn't have that real sweep to them like a Rami. Yeah, Big Rami, he's got that crazy sweep, the shape. When you look at him from the front, the thighs come out like this. That's very important if you want to have the appearance of big legs, because you have the lats flaring up like this from the waist. Then you want the quads to come out and flare the opposite direction. That's perfect. Chad Nichols said this time Rami is best ever. Yeah, Rami didn't even train, I guess, for months and months last year. So I expect he'll be a lot better at this Olympia. God, we're this is 9 months away still, we're talking. So it's going to be a while before we see. Anyway, guys, whoever say Ronnie has no idea. Thanks for your opinions. Appreciate it. You know, whatever you like, whatever you believe, you're not right and you're not wrong. That's an opinion, and this is a sport of opinion. Your opinion counts. You're a fan. You guys have eyes, especially those of you who've been around and have seen a lot of shows. Some of you have been judges. You know how that's a tough job, a thankless job, because the winner is the only one that's happy at the end of the night. Everyone else thinks you're an asshole, you're blind, it's fixed, it's political. Only the winner's happy. Everyone else is very, very upset because they didn't win. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it so much. Please subscribe to the channel. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up. Leave your comments below. Do all that. Turn on your notifications. There's a bell thing. Do all that good stuff, please. I appreciate it so much. Thanks for watching. See you later.